All right, we're live. Tapping Birdie, Charles Schwab Week, PGA Championship recap. Here, been trying to get this guy on for years. Golf Bet Caddy, part of the 1-800 crew. I'll put you in the 1-800 Gambler crew. GBC, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing great, honestly. Other than Bryson not winning yesterday,
Yeah.
I had a great week for the props, so that was nice. Yeah, I mean, PGA was pretty electric. I mean, other than the course, but everything else was great.
Yeah, no, great PGA Championship. I'm kind of with you in the being kind of upset. I wouldn't put it in the we've had a lot of heartbreakers. Like it wasn't that heartbreaking just because it's a lot easier to look back, in my opinion, when they really don't play well or they miss a couple putts. Like can't really ask much more out of Bryson and even Hovland. Like that they really did everything that they could have done to win that tournament. So it makes it a little bit easier, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, the course just didn't ask enough questions of a leader. You know what I mean? There's just not enough places you can make mistakes around there. So for Xander, I mean, he just kept the foot down, and I mean, kudos to him, I guess. But yeah, it was just too easy. But I mean, I don't know. When Bryson made that shot on 16, it felt like he was going to win it. But I had a great shot. But
Yeah, no, I kind of want to start off talking about Xander because kind of being in the betting community and doing this shit every week, like Xander's always a very popular guy, as Adam and Jers always say, like there's always a ton of green. Like he genuinely, in my opinion, other than Scotty, is the most complete player on the PGA Tour. And I think there is even a case that he's more of a complete player than Scotty because he's so much better of a putter than Scotty. And it's been a long time, obviously, since he won, but he was having this unbelievable season. And if there was a guy I didn't even put a second into thinking about or betting, I think under 30-1, he was the guy I gave least consideration to. Like at no point did I ever think about betting Xander Schauffele last week.
I definitely did, and mostly because I mean I've been on him a few times this year. Back at Torrey, had him at Pebble, and then I had him last week for first round leader, and then I was kicking myself because I didn't have him outright. But so I
that
definitely
turned out correct.
Yeah, and then I didn't go back again this week, which was a kick in the nuts. But you never see people go back to back first round later. But I had an 18-1 Monday morning on Bet Rivers, and I looked at it pretty hard. But the way I thought the course was going to play was pretty easy. I thought it was going to open up to a lot of names down the board, and which wasn't wrong. But I don't know. It was a good number, I guess. But I mean,
yeah, to me, like I think 14-1 on Xander was like extremely fair. Like I don't think there's any case that it was a bad number, and I don't think there was any case that it was a good number. Like it was just kind of exactly where he should have been priced given how he was playing this year. But to me, it's just for the guy to win a major in his lowest odds ever, like in a major, is a very tough ask. To win a major after you haven't won in almost 2 years, like it's coming up on 2 years since he won the Genesis Scottish Open. Like it's been a while, and to win a major after having as many close calls as you had this year and having a lot of, I'm not going to say a lot of, but like some pretty bad Sundays.
yeah.
To do all that and to win it 14-1, it was really, really, I'm going to say surprising because I just did not think that Xander Schauffele, week after Quail, was going to get a major. I think that if he, finishes T7 at Quail, I think it's different. But I think what happened the week before, for whatever reason in my mind, made it less likely that he was going to actually win.
No, I agree completely. I mean, that definitely factored into my decision, but I don't know. I mean, he's been the second best golfer on the planet this year by a mile. It's not even
Yeah.
close. I mean, it's just funny because like I bet him a couple times this year, and then I've gotten away from him because I just thought he wasn't going to win. It's kind of like Cantlay last year for me.
Yeah.
I'm a big Cantlay guy, and I mean, I wasted so much money on Cantlay last year. Which, if you go back and look at Cantlay last year, he was nothing but green other than the putter.
Yeah.
It was almost the same thing, but he got no wins to show for it. But Xander got the win, so I don't know. It's tough to bet these guys under 20-1 in a major when they hadn't been there.
Yeah, I mean, it is really tough, especially with so many attractive odds of guys who are quote unquote winners, like right above him. Like Brooks was higher odds, Rahm was higher odds. And like there were some really good numbers on guys like Colin and Hovland and Bryson. So it was really tough to be like, I'm really going to constrict myself that much to bet a guy that, really hadn't shown he could win in a very long time. And I, going into the week, like, if I had no one in the mix, like I wanted Xander to win. Like I like Xander. I honestly think that he is a better personality and more interesting than a lot of people give him credit for. Like whenever he goes on like Bob Does Sports or like does certain interviews, like I genuinely think he's an extremely funny and like charismatic dude. I just think he's not going to go super out of his way to kind of show that to everybody. Like, I don't think he's a boring player. And obviously, with the distance gains he's made this year, and everyone's pointed it out, but he is so complete. Like, he has zero flaws in his game. He's long and accurate off the tee, like super long off the tee, premier iron player, good short game, and a great putter. In my opinion, of the top 5 players in the world, he's without a doubt the best putter. And it all just kind of came together this week at Valhalla, which, it very much so reminds me of Fitzpatrick at the US Open. Like it's very, very similar in my opinion. Fitz was having an unbelievable season, but he's a loser and he can't win. And he holds off 2 quote unquote winners who I also had.
Too soon.
Yeah. So it's very similar in that respect, but at the end of the day, he deserves to be a major champion. He deserves to get the monkey off his back. He deserves to be looked at in a new light. And I have no problem with it other than that it was expense of people that I bet.
Yeah. No, I agree about everything you said. He's really good on like Bob Does Sports and all that stuff, any content he comes out with. But I'm definitely happy for him. I've never been an anti-Xander guy. So, but I don't know. How do you feel about Vic? I mean, you had to think. Yes. It felt like Vic was going to be the guy, not Bryson.
Yeah. So, like it very much so. Vic reminded me of Sunday at Olympia Fields, where he just could not miss. And I had him that day, and I was going crazy about him.
And I had Scott.
That's I remember that. I was very happy to see Scotty not win that. But when Vic gets into that zone on these like longer classical, like just rip driver courses, like he really, really can fill it up. And in my opinion, again, this is I'm not saying it's like obvious or anything, but like the top 3 guys, in my opinion, are the best. And the best ball strikers that can putt on the PGA Tour are Hovland and Xander. Like, those are the 2 of the guys that actually have spike potential with the putting, but are also fantastic, like ball strikers. And Bryson too. I'll put him in that. Like, he's a great putter, obviously a great ball striker. So I think this week, really the least important thing was the around the green game, with just like how easy it was. So I guess it's kind of obvious those 3 guys came up, but Hovland, like I bet in full transparency, like I bet a 22-1 a while ago, full, and then he was 50-1. I bet that 75% full. So like I was double exposed on Hovland. So like I was really, really excited, and I thought he was going to do it because again, he has that upside with the putter, and he just, when he gets into those zones, I know he's only shown it a few times, like he could really get going. I thought it was really his to lose. and then the putter just kind of ran out. And at the end of the day, it was probably too soon for him to win a major with how he's been playing this year. But I think you'll agree, since you love betting on golf, obviously, that it sucks that we're not going to get a good number on him again.
No, his number's gone at the U.S. and the Open. I mean, he's sub 20-1. So
bullshit. That's so dumb. And honestly, that was his best chance to win a major this year, in my opinion. And they just never move the odds for the other. Like, there's no reason to move them. So, like, he's sub 18. But in my opinion, there is zero reason to bet him 20-1 at the U.S. Open or Open, considering what he just showed us and how many people were stuck on bad numbers. Like, to go out of your way to bet that, like, to me, I'm against that. But what's your outlook on Hovland for the rest of the year, would you say?
I mean, yeah, it's hard to quantify the around the green stuff, because it was so easy. Like, everybody was gaining around the green there. I mean, the rough was as advertised. It wasn't challenging unless you were way off the grid. So I'm anxious to see how that plays out. But like you said, I mean, on long, tough courses, I don't know. That's like his jam. And I mean, I think the Open is like his best major. I mean, if you, I mean, that or the PGA, I don't know. I'd say those two. But I mean,
for me, it's hard, and for me, it's hard to be a good Open player, because it's so random, like, every single year, and we've seen, and the courses are so different. Like,
Brian
I think Rory, Rory's a great U.S. Open player because he's an extremely long off the tee, and I like Hovland. I think I'll probably win an Open. But the way the courses are, it's just tough for me. I don't fucking know shit about Troon. I'm not gonna come on here and say someone's a great bet. I don't know anything about the course. So, Pinehurst is interesting to me. I think that the narrative is that short game is going to be extremely important at Pinehurst, just with the way the greens are and how there's no rough around the greens. And in my opinion, Hovland's great when there's thick rough around the greens. Now, obviously, he has the potential to just go out and win and not have to super rely on a short game. But I think that was probably it for Vic this year.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, if I've already been thinking about the U.S. Open. I mean, if I was looking at the future market now, I mean, like Cam Smith at 31-1, I think I've seen him at, that definitely plays in my opinion, guys like that. I mean, because it's almost like, it has the look of an Australian type course, with all the waist bunkers and everything. And so I don't know, the future market, is dead this time of year. It's
and there's no Hovland, whatever he is, he will be higher than that this week. I mean, the week of, I don't think that he's going to go down 14-1, like U.S. Open. I don't think he's going to win Memorial. He's not playing this week, so he's not just wait, in my opinion. But I think the PGA Tour needs Hovland. He's someone that they need to step up, and he's a interesting golfer. He has a great swing. He's a young, good looking dude. They need more people like Hovland to start playing well. And I think him being shit all year and not wanting to play in events has kind of hurt the PGA Tour's product to a certain extent.
Yeah, I was thinking about this yesterday. I mean, when Vic goes on one of those runs, and you can put Xander in that category, there's very few guys that can beat Scotty's ceiling round.
Yeah.
But I feel like Vic, Xander definitely can. And then, on Live, you'd definitely put Bryson. You'd put Rahm, but, I don't know what he's doing right now. And you'd put Brooks there, but really, I mean, outside of that, Rory. I mean,
Rory at a random event. He could do it. So Bryson, I bet him last summer at this course. I thought 66 was a crazy price, and I was kind of high on him coming into the year. He was a very popular pick for good reason. And, he showed up. I mean, he started out a little slow. I was a bit upset. Holes out for eagle, makes a long one, puts together 2 good rounds. And then on Sunday, I mean, he really didn't miss a shot. I think that sand wedge on 9 that he hit long into the rough was maybe the only shot he missed. But, I mean, he didn't make a lot of long putts. He holed one off the green, but everything else was like basically a tap in. Like he was looking at a lot of 15, 20 footers all day. And I know you're locked in. Again, you're part of the 1-800 crew. I'm sure you were watching the featured group. I think he spends way too much time reading putts.
Yeah.
Like he was so locked in on these 15 footers. I'm like, he has no chance to make this. Like, I just didn't think that he, I don't know. He seems like he takes so much time over putts and overanalyzes it on those longer ones that he didn't really make any long ones, other than the one he holed off the green and then obviously 18. But I think that, again, the narrative is everyone loves Bryson. Like, he's an electric factory. He's what golf needs. 100% agree. I mean, there's really no one more entertaining. And him saying that he, practices his, celebrations and stuff, off YouTube. Like, he knows what people want. Like, he knows what gets views and stuff. Like, that's fucking awesome. Like, it was sick to see. I mean, you like to golf. I like to golf. I'm sure we play simulators. What's your ball speed? Like, we're kind of locked into those numbers. 196 ball speed. That seems fake. Like, there's no way he had 196 mile an hour ball speed. That is legitimately long drive competition stuff. And he's doing it on the fucking 71st hole of a major.
He was jacked up, man. I mean, I don't know. It's funny to see, the narrative change on him, which I'm happy about it. I don't know if you've ever watched any of his YouTube stuff. I have.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
I think it's genuinely good. I mean,
yeah.
I think the breaking 50 thing from the red tees, I think it's great. But
no, I agree. I like his YouTube golf videos. Like, I watch him on it. Like, I think he's pretty genuine. And again, I know he won on Live last year, but again, I think I don't, I think this was a bad major for Live in general. Just a lot of guys did not show up. Obviously, Bryson did, but I think when you compare Bryson's Live results to his major results, it just more proves the point that these guys are really just prepping for 4 weeks a year, and that's really all that matters to them. But Neiman and Rahm and Brooks, it's just not great. And I didn't like Neiman or Rahm, so I'll Vic lap that. But I don't know, Jocko. People literally were like, he's a top 3 golfer in the world a couple months ago. People genuinely thought that, and they were being completely serious. And I just think it just shows how much different these smaller field 54-hole events are to real PGA, real majors, and really going up against the best golfers in the world over 72 holes each week. It's just showing more and more in these majors. And I know Bryson's kind of the exception, but I mean, Rahm, Neiman, and Brooks, it's just bad.
Yeah, I mean, what day was it? Friday, when Brooks was really bad, when he couldn't make a putt, he missed all those under 5 feet. That was really, his worst day. Other than that, he wasn't too bad. But Neiman, I had the Neiman future, the 80-1, and
great number. That's a great. He should not be that number. But right. I said on my pod, I think 35, it was just very short on him.
Yeah, and if there was a major that Neiman should do the best at, it's a Midwest bent grass course. And, that's where you give him the best chance. He was terrible. To be honest.
Yeah, no, it's tough. But again, we got Live Houston coming up. I'm going to be locked in.
Is that the next one?
I think it's Live Houston next.
Okay. And then Nashville.
Yeah, and I'll shout out Dean. I mean, Dean should be in the U.S. Open. Like, he should be in the U.S. Open. He is absolutely talented enough to be there. In my opinion, he's top 25, top 30 golfer in the world, without a doubt. I mean, like, Dean, I think he is more of a success story than really anyone else on LIV, because he went in very, like, no, unless you were a fucking degenerate, you didn't know who Dean Burmeister was. And he really elevated his game a lot on LIV. Like, obviously wins LIV Miami. Like, you know, they're not handing out trophies at LIV Miami. Shows, like, gets a special invite, shows up, plays well. I'm going to miss him at the U.S. Open. Like, I fully think that he should be there. You should get into the Open. I think maybe world ranking points. I'm not sure, but not to be a LIV bot, but get me Dean in the next two majors.
I agree. But, you know, I was told he was a bad play this week because of chalk. You know?
Yeah, he was.
That was the headline of that.
Yeah. But, Dean was a sharp play.
Yeah. And you'd think he'd fit too at Pinehurst, like in terms of the style of golf, you know, he plays. You know, he'd definitely be a click there. I don't, you know.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to be handing out invites or anything, but he should be there for sure.
I'd assume he's going to try to qualify.
I think he is. Okay. I think he is. I wasn't. There was a lot going on today. I think Nico and Vicacharia, Puerto Rico Open champ, I think he qualified. Some other guys did. I don't know. Someone was like telling me what was going on. I'm not sure. Also, random question. I know you'll know this. Who won lowest debutant at the PGA? Did it tie?
So it was a split. The only reason I got confused, I thought Thigala was in it because the books offered Thigala. They had Oberg up top, and then Thigala was 10-1. And then I took Jaeger at 20, and then Eckroat at 30, and there was a bunch of other guys. But so I assumed that I had lost the bet. Well, then I paid out, and I got a dead heat. The guy that tied him was that the Japanese kid.
Get the fuck out.
Isatune. Yeah. So
you lost a 30-1 bet because of Ryo Hasatune.
Yeah, and Eckroat bogeyed 16 and 17. He was, you know, he was 2 under that to that point. Bogeyed those two holes, but he birdied the last, which ended up tying it. So I mean, but I had no idea at the time. I thought when Thigala made that putt on 18, I had lost the bet.
Okay,
but then
because someone DM'd me like, "Why did my top debutante void?" Did Thigala play a PGA Championship before?
He did last year. Yeah.
What? How did the books fuck that up?
Well, and I don't know if you. Yeah, I was tweeting like on Wednesday. Like I kept tweeting like, "Why did the books remove top debutant?" They were gone across all the books. I mean, FanDuel.
It was because okay.
Yeah, they all fucked up though. I just don't understand.
None of them did any research.
So they just took it off the board.
Yeah, no, because someone, why did this? Someone DM'd me. Why did Sahith top debutant void? And it was because he played in it.
Yeah, Sahith was T40 last year at Oak Hill.
Yeah, I don't know how. I would have thought he would have played in the PGA Championship.
Yeah,
that's odd.
I completed mine.
Will Thiggs win a major in his life?
The stars are going to have that line for him. It's got to be a course. He's just so erratic with the driver, man. It's like even when he's on a run of like birding like 4 holes and 4 out of 6 holes or something, the big miss with the driver's coming.
Yeah.
And it's just how bad he can get out of there. I mean, he practices these bad shots and everything. I mean, I love Thigala, but his game definitely plays at Augusta. You would think.
Yep. Kapalua too, like wide open, like Silverado, like courses where there's less penalty if you miss off the tee. Like Thigala's just gonna like eat it, and like he's also done it well on like longer classical courses. Right. So I think he's a guy where if he drifts to over 50-1, like you just bet him because he has the potential to really pop. And like I think he again I don't have the numbers. I think he's top 15 player in the world without a doubt. I mean, he's like top 7 in the FedEx Cup. Like he's having a really, really solid year. And I think he needs to get that, other big win. Like I'm sure if you polled random people, has Theegala won, they wouldn't fucking know that he won, the Fortinet in September. Like that just wasn't really. So he needs another win. He's close. I mean, he's close. I don't know exactly where, but Theegala is he's close. I think he'll get one soon.
Yeah, I don't hate the Pinehurst bets on him. He definitely, I think he'll play there. But it always seems like you got to get in on the guy when they make the run at the major, and then everybody piles on, thinking he's going to do it the next one, and it never pans out.
Yeah.
Other than Bryson, in this case, with the PGA after the Masters, but
I don't know. My thing about the U.S. Open is that if you look at the winners since Jordan Spieth, they've all been elite off the tee and above average distance. And I know Pinehurst is a quote unquote different course, but I just don't know if you could be as bad off the tee as Thiegs and like Cam Smith to win. I'm not 100% on that. Like it really does make sense. But even last year, like LACC, like people were like, it's a little bit of a different course. Like it's not a typical US Open venue. And Wyndham Clark wins and Rory came in second. So I feel like that's the way it's trending, which doesn't lead a lot of guys.
No.
But I think at 70-1, 80-1, like I just said, like he should be an auto bet because he has the talent and he's been contending a lot more than a lot of people, in that range. So that definitely makes sense to me.
The one thing I liked is he got his reps. You got to get those reps in at majors, being close, very much like Xander, like Vic, being in the final group, penultimate group and all that. I think that definitely is going to help him down the line. So
overall thoughts on Valhalla as a golf course. I don't know how locked into you to golf course architecture are you. Like, I don't know if when you go on a buddy's trip, like you're talking about the holes. I'm trending that way a little bit, but like I feel like every hole was kind of the same. Like, didn't really ask a lot of questions. So, but at the end of the day, like it was okay for me. Like, what are your overall thoughts on Valhalla?
The leaderboard was great, and the leaderboard, it seems like it always delivers the drama because I think it asks like the same thing from every golfer. It's like, you hit the ball to the same spots and, then it just becomes, who can make some putts. But I don't know. To the eye, it doesn't look great. I mean, other than 13, the island green, but it's, other than Toasty driving it, it's just pointless.
Completely pointless. Oh, yeah.
So I don't know. It seems like they gave this course to, the PGA. The PGA went here because of Jack. Like, there's so many other Jack Nicklaus courses that they could go to, I feel like, to give him his major. It's got to have to be better than Valhalla. For me, it just, I don't know. I wasn't a fan.
Yeah, I mean, to me, my biggest thing was that I watched a lot of fucking golf over the weekend. Did you see anyone miss a fairway? Like no one missed a fairway. It was crazy. And shout out Jers and Adam. They were like, this is an extremely easy driving course. Like no one is missing these fairways. No one's practicing out of the rough. Like no one missed fairways all week. It was crazy. And like, that's why Xander didn't fall back or anything. Cause you just couldn't really make mistakes. Like everyone was just pounding fairways. And on fucking 2 or whatever hole that was where Xander and Colin both made par, like a fucking joke. Like even when you drove it off a planet, like they still found a way to make par. So there were not a lot of consequences for their, actions. Like it was not great. I will say, like, what would you rather have, Valhalla or Kiowa, where basically 2 guys could have won, or Valhalla or Oak Hill, where only like 2 guys could have won? I know only like 3 guys could have really won, but it was a lot more separation. Like, I like Oak Hill, I like, Kiowa, like, but I'm not like, it just needs to be hard because I don't think that the PGA is in like crisis mode. their last however many majors have all been extremely difficult and at really good courses. Like, okay, they had one bad course. Like, I'm not gonna like say blow the whole thing up. Like, it's been trending towards more lower scoring. They just couldn't do it at this course this week.
And the rain didn't help. I mean,
Yeah.
and this area of the country, the Midwest and that region, this time of year we just get pounded by rain. Like
Yeah.
where I live, we've had rain eight straight Saturdays.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just been extremely rainy recently, so there's no way they were going to firm that course up. But I mean, that's the only way to get it challenging is if you firm it up and the ball runs at least through the fairway, so you're hitting out of the rough more. But yeah,
and the greens weren't super undulating at all. Like, it was pretty easy.
Completely flat.
Around the green was very easy. So yeah, it just, but like that was the biggest thing for me was that no one missed a fairway all week. Like anyone like in contention, you just never missed a fairway. Where like at, again, it's the US Open, but again, I vividly remember like Zal kind of hitting one a little bit offline at the US Open. It's like immediate bogey. It's like, all right, like that never happened. There was no immediate bogey at Valhalla, but whatever. It's kind of crazy we haven't talked about it. Scotty got arrested. I'm able to sleep in for my job, and I was just like up Friday morning, like my mom like rushes into my bed, it's like, Brian, you gotta wake up. I'm like, what? She's like, Scotty Scheffler got arrested. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, there's no way.
You believe her.
Immediately hop down, go on my computer. I'm like, what the hell is going on? What was your experience finding out that Scotty Scheffler got arrested? Like, what are your overall thoughts? Like, back the blue, fuck the pigs. Like, where do you kind of net out on Scotty?
It was funny because I was shaving, and I have alerts on for Adam Schefter tweets. Being a football guy, and I saw it pop up when I'm shaving. Like Scotty Scheffler gets arrested, and I'm like, that's not fucking real. Like, because Adam Schefter's been had before in the past, with tweets.
Yeah.
So I didn't believe it, and then I open up my phone though, and then you see Jeff Darlington and everything happening, and I'm like, what the fuck? I mean, I couldn't believe it, and it was funny because when I went into work that day, I worked with my dad, and I told my dad, and honestly, that probably was like top 5 most shocking news to my father. Honestly, his reaction was priceless. I mean, it was jarring. I mean,
yeah, it was like the PSA, like ESPN Plus. That was cinema. Like, just like everyone talking about it. And then like Scotty shows up, and then he's like walking out to the range, and like everyone. That was the most entertaining golf broadcast like I've ever seen, and like golf shots weren't even being shown. Like, that was unbelievable. I think going into the week, part of me was like, Scotty's probably going to win, but I knew that it might be too easy for him, might be too much of a putting contest. And I still think even without Ted Scott and being arrested, he probably doesn't win, but he's a little bit more of a threat on Sunday. I think Scott, like, they didn't just arrest Scotty for no reason. Like, something must have happened. Like, he must have done something. The cop definitely overreacted, but he must have like drove when the guy was close to him. Like, I don't think he like dragged the cop or anything. But I mean, just an absolutely wild story. And I think it's even more crazy that he shot like 3 over par on Saturday.
Yeah. Apparently the charges weren't dropped. Did you see that?
Yeah, I don't know. They moved it back. I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
We're going to have to ask Kobe DeBose on that.
I haven't spent any time in the clink to know. I guess.
I haven't. But like, you're just a soft ass rich white boy.
Right. Yeah.
Like, you haven't dealt with any adversity.
No, never. So I don't know. It's just a crazy situation. I mean, but I guess it's hard to quantify, if the moment just was, because like the first day he's running on adrenaline on Friday, and then Saturday, like, was it really that Ted Scott wasn't there? Is he really worth, like 6 shots?
No.
No,
but like, I don't know. I don't think he was ever winning Valhalla, even if he wasn't arrested. Like, I think he could have, been in one of the last 3 groups and shot that final day. But I'm still, man, the putter's really freaking good, man. It's not obviously not like amazing, but like he's making so many more 15 footers now. He's not 3-punting. I know he missed a few shorties this week, which was nice, but he is putting so much better. I think he's like gained like every single week since he's switched, and it's really concerning to me. And I think that's a good segue to start talking about Charles Schwab, because he's in the field this week. I think he gained like 12 strokes ball striking here last year and lost like 5 putting. He made a hole in one, so you gotta, that affects the strokes gain approach stats. Where are you on Scotty winning Colonial this week? Because I'm fully in the might bet. I actually bet a fuck ton of guys, so I'm lying, but I might dual forecast a fuck ton of guys because I would be surprised if Scotty didn't win this week.
I feel the same exact way. I feel like he could bend the whole field over pretty much. I mean, he's, like you said, in 2022, he gained 3.3 strokes per round. And then last year, 2.81. I mean, he's second in the T3. I mean, and the putter just held him back both times. I mean, he just fits everything you need at this course,
Yeah.
Everything.
And like the ball striking he's done it here, like heavily. And the putter's held him back, and the putter has not regressed. I don't think it's going to regress. Like, he has really just, and the scoring's perfect. Like, he's not winning a 28 under. Like, he probably has to get to 12 under. I just bet a bunch of guys before we went live. And I didn't really I just didn't think about it, but I am a little bit worried about Scotty this week. But at the end of the day, he still hasn't won past April. But I think it's similar to Harbor Town, where it's like this is a course he's played a lot, where the thing with Scotty is that he basically needs to play a course to win it. And I'm a little bit worried. But in all seriousness, and I'm curious your thoughts, I really think there's value in the dual forecast market because you're getting a free square. And it's like 70, 80, 100 to 1. Like, Scotty's going to be there. So, in my opinion, there's value because, like, either your guy wins and Scotty comes in second, or Scotty wins and you're fighting for second. And you're going to lose anyway, so you might as well get like a 70, 80 to 1. So is there value in the dual forecast with Scotty market?
The models will probably disagree with that one. But
like, would Rufus Peabody disagree with that? There's no value?
There's no way that's possible. But, I mean, it's funny because I degened the PGA, and I had FOMO dual forecasts on Xander because he was like the one guy, because I was genuinely concerned. But the only guys I did him with was Rahm, Koepka, and Oberg. I didn't do
what the fuck?
Bryson. Yeah, I did. So
you basically had it.
But yeah, I think there is value in that. I mean, I save them for the majors, but because I go crazy because I'm 1-800.
1-800.
Yeah. But
you dual forecasted Xander?
Yeah, but not with the right guy. So, and it would have paid out in full too. That's another question. Well,
it just chops. Like if it's literally just like a first round leader. Okay. But yeah, I'll go out and say Scotty can win this week. I will Vic lap that if he does, for sure. But yeah, I'm very scared of him. He's probably gonna win, and I might need to figure something out. But the winner without odds are shit. You bet Colin Morikawa 14 to 1. Obviously playing some unbelievable golf. I think he's due for a win. What was your thought process in betting Colin this week?
Well, I mean, he's played here pretty much every year. He's played here the last 4 years, and he had that second to 1 year, which I was on him that year. So the thing for me, just looking at the stats and everything, you have to be a pretty decent putter when you win here. If you look at like the last 10 winners, I mean, everybody, the last 24 rounds coming into this has been putting well, or is a solid, baseline putter. And even Griot last year, who's like a very streaky putter, he's either really bad for stretches or really good. But if you go back and look, like the previous 3 or 4 events to this one, he was really good last year.
Yeah.
And he had good course history here. So, I mean, I know Colin lost over 3 strokes putting on Sunday yesterday. I'm not buying that's like, that he's going to regress to that, because dating back to the Masters, he was gaining a stroke around with the putter, which is, unlike him. But
yeah, he's really transformed his game a little bit.
Yeah, and I thought the approach was good enough, and he's been great around the green this year. He's always accurate off the tee. I just think he checks all the boxes, and if there's one guy that I believe that could beat Scotty, it's him.
Yeah, I don't love anyone really at the top of the board. I kind of just bet a fuck ton of guys like 50-1 and over. Spieth, I don't think he has the talent to win right now. I know the off the tee game's great, and he's unbelievable here, but I just don't think his game is in the spot for him to win. And again, he's not someone that wins a lot. 2 wins since Birkdale, and both the time he's playing a lot better. The off the tee is great, but he just can't do anything else. Homa, for me, I don't hate it. I mean, I think you could make the case that, again, he has like a lot of win equity and he's at a decent number. I don't know. Do you think this is a Homa course?
I don't mind it. I don't know though. I couldn't get there. Homa to me, I have trouble clicking Homa when he's like that low in the odds board for whatever reason. Yeah. I know he's a winner. I've had him before on some of his wins, but it seems like they're always, I don't know, higher up the odds board. I just couldn't get there. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't love it. Tone, he's been great here. He's had a lot of decent results. This is kind of a staple spot for him. Ball striking last week was amazing. He's been hitting the ball really well. And I do think that there is a case where, he didn't putt terrible all week. He started out and he kind of was putting really well. And I think that you could make the case that something's flipped a little bit with Big T. So I don't hate a Finau 30-1 this week, the way he's been hitting it at the course history. And the field shot. So
I looked hard at it, Tony. I mean, he led the field in approach last week. I think he gained 9 strokes on approach.
Over Keimer?
Huh?
Keimer led the field in the strokes on like the first day or something, like 5 strokes. So I'm surprised he regressed a little bit. But Big T, I think it's a solid play. I don't know if I have room to bet him, and I don't think he's gonna really win, but I think he'll mix.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a good play.
Harris English 35-1, most tipped.
1,000%. 1,000.
Like,
even though I'm on.
You're on Harry Ing.
Yes. I mean, he does everything you want to do here. I mean, checks all the boxes.
Yeah. What number did you get him at?
Sorry. Go ahead.
What number did you get him at?
45.
45. Yeah, he's like 6th guy on the odds board. Has he? I honestly don't even know. Has he done much before the PGA Championship?
I mean, his approach hasn't been great. I mean, off the tee, he's been pretty good. He's always accurate, but that's the thing. He's always great around the green in putting, but
yeah,
he finally gained 4 strokes on approach last week, and that's good enough for me to, if that's, if he can do that this week and the way he's capable of, he can
the putter's been hot. He's had 3 top 12s here. I understand it. I think the odds are just a bit too low for me. Harman, I don't think Harman is gonna win. Like this guy was one of the biggest losers on the PGA Tour. Like he won the fucking Open by 6 shots. I don't think he's just gonna start like winning regular PGA Tour events. Like that's kind of how I feel about Harman. Like I don't know. I just it's tough for me to want to click him at 40 when I still think at the end of the day he's probably a loser.
I agree. Yeah, I've never been a Harmon guy. You're the Harmon whisperer.
Yeah, sure. I guess I'll take
So
that. I'll take
it's,
that.
I mean, like same thing as English. He showed signs on approach last week. He looked good. He fits. The course fits like great. But I agree with you. Like just because you win one event doesn't mean you're just going to start knocking them off.
Yeah, that's really my hesitation there. Minwoo, I think, is too bad of an iron player. Siwoo's interesting because I think that you could kind of fit the Griot mold of having a solid season and then missing the cut of the PGA and then coming out and winning. Where are you on Siwoo? Can he gain enough putting to win here? Because that's obviously what's been holding him back the most this year.
So my last bet I made was Denny, but it was down to Denny or Siwoo, and literally I was splitting hairs with these two. Siwoo, like on approach, is ridiculous right now. I mean, honestly, he's so good, and he's obviously accurate around the greens, great, but he's so bad with the putter. Even though bent grass, he probably gains more than any other surface, but he's won more on Bermuda. I think he's won every one of his wins has been Bermuda, and I just couldn't get there.
Yeah, I think the putter is too much for him. Shout out Willie Wilcox. He cares more about his own golf game than Sanjay Im's golf game. Sanjay's been trending. He doesn't win, but I think 40-1 is a good number. I mean, he was solid at Wells. Made the cut last week. I don't hate a Sanjay 40-1. Probably won't win, but solid play.
Yeah, I've just never been a Sanjay guy. Honestly, I never know when to bet him. It feels like every time you should, he just fails miserably. So he is, anytime he's chalk, it never ends well. But even though I haven't seen really anybody on him this week, so maybe this is the week.
Yeah, I think it's a solid number, to be honest. Denny Mac, you bet him 55-1. Were you on him at Valero?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That was.
Did you hedge?
No.
You didn't.
No, I regret not hedging her. I've been always team no hedge.
Okay.
And mostly because, well, I mean, last year, when I was popping off a lot of winners, when the bankroll's going good, I don't feel the need to hedge.
Yeah.
But considering the way this year has been with, nonstop Scotty and everything else, it's been hard to come by a winner. And I should have hedged that week because that was just excruciating for me.
But I understand it because at the point where you could have hedged, it was like Denny's going to win. You know what I mean? Sometimes you kind of feel it where it's just I actually think this guy's going to win. And a lot of times when they come back, sometimes they've come back and I've been like, wow, I actually have a solid price. I really want to hedge. Last week, I had Hovland and Bryson, and I didn't hedge when Xander was 2-1, and then I hedged 600 on fucking Xander, but I had a really large Hovland ticket, so I didn't care. If I had 600 off it, it was a $5,000 ticket. I didn't care. But then once Bryson was the only one that could beat him, and it was 33, it was 3,200 or whatever. I was I don't really want 600 off that. So then I canceled out 2 of the hedges.
Oh wow.
Because I was I don't want, if Bryson wins, I don't want to net that. I don't. So I just did enough to cover my fucking stake on better golf odds. And then, but again, $300-$400, I don't really care. It's not going to change my week. I just don't want to have that and have to Venmo someone $500. I'm good on that. That's where I think hedging is if you just want to cover the week, I think you should do it. But yeah, it's always, I've had a lot of times where I've hedged and I've won, and I've had a lot of times where I've hedged and lost. So you really should just have 100% strategy, but it's tough. But anyway, Denny Mac, your guy. Good course fit, good bend putter, shorter course, pop with the irons and the putter. Is that your case for him?
Pretty much. I mean, and last week couldn't have gone any worse for him. I mean, distance truly did matter at the course. Other than like Russell Henley playing well, pretty much everybody on the leaderboard, can pump the ball off the tee. But yeah, I mean, I think it's a good buyback spot. It's like I said, I mean, the putter has been like unbelievable really since the Valero, other than this past week. You just got to pop with the irons. I mean, which, in these proximities, he's really good from. And, he's accurate off the tee. But like I said, yeah, like I said at the beginning, I mean, I think you need a good putter here, and he's definitely probably the best in this field. So,
yeah, no, I agree. I think it's a solid bet. If losers are winning, like, I'm in. I bet Sepp Straka 50-1. I've been betting the guy a bunch, so I just feel like I have to keep riding him. Again, he's a guy I can trust in contention to win. I don't know about against Scotty because we all saw how that went at RBC. But I'll take, he gained like 4 on his approach at the PGA. Like, he just couldn't putt. I like him more in Bermuda, but, I mean, he has the potential to pop with the irons and the putter, and I think that he is someone I could trust in the mix. Are you doing Tom Hoge 50-1?
No.
You're out on him?
I couldn't get there. I don't know. It's just Tom Hoge. He went to TCU, Tom Hoge in Texas. But anytime Tom Hoge gets around his boys, I feel like he's like gets sidetracked.
Okay.
And honestly, his course history here is terrible. I mean, he had a 217 way back in 2016, but
other than that, nothing. Yeah, I think he's a one-time PGA Tour winner.
Yeah, he's so good with his irons. I mean, he finally popped last week, and he's been like a really good putter lately.
Yeah.
Just recently. So, maybe this is the week to buy him. I couldn't get there.
Why is Andrew Putnam 55-1? What am I missing? What has he done?
Data golf.
Data golf likes him?
Yeah. I mean, they like.
Has he been playing well?
He's just no. I mean, honestly, he plays tough courses well. These short, tough courses well. But when's the last time Andrew Putnam has even been in contention?
Yeah.
Or he hasn't won on the PGA Tour. I just think
he won the Barracuda.
Did he?
Yeah.
Did he really?
He won the Barracuda in like 2017, 2018.
Oh my God. Because
I didn't think he won, and I remember writing that he's never won on the PGA Tour, and someone was like, "No, he won."
Of course, yeah.
So that was I don't know why that makes no sense to me. I mean, he's trying to. No, he's like lost off the tee in like 10. No, I don't understand that price on him. I bet Keegan 65. I just kind of, he was great off the tee last week. Good ball striking last week. I trust him in difficult conditions. He's won the week after a major before. Again, someone that I guess I could trust in the mix.
Yeah.
Good bent putter. I think it's a good number on him. Truthfully,
I agree.
Think it's a solid play.
I looked hard at Keegan. I mean, this year his big problem has been off the tee. Prior to last week, he had lost off the tee 4 straight starts, and then he gained, 1.75 a round. So if there was a week to buy, it's this week. So
yeah, I think it's just a good number. What are your thoughts? I bet Austin Eckroat 80 on FanDuel early. That was a stupid number. I think Eckroat's strength is being accurate off the tee, and he's a solid iron player, and he's a decent putter. Like 80-1, he's probably not going to win, but that was just kind of a value pick for me. I bet Mav. We're in on Mav.
Yeah,
I think Mav can win.
I do too. It's been a while since he's been in contention, but why not this week?
No, I think he's had a pretty solid year. He was lurking around last week. Like, he was doing things. He could spike with the putter. Like, his dad, I think he has some Texas ties. Why the hell not? Like, I genuinely feel good about Mav this week for no reason. I just feel like he's a guy that's been doing things this year.
Well, it's funny because, I'm already into the weeds with the first round leader research, and he has like 3 spike rounds here, like gaining over four
Squad rod
strokes.
of the week.
He's definitely a first round leader play and
Matt McNeely, first round leader on the card.
Yeah, and even Eckroat, the guy before. I mean, I wouldn't mind him on the card as well. So, but
I might have bet too many guys to do every. I just shit drives me crazy. I can't do that. Taylor Moore 70, like he's been doing things. Solid red state, like popped last week. Good putter, Valspar comp. I think that's the best number on the board. Taylor, you wouldn't be surprised if Taylor Moore had 2 PGA Tour wins.
No. I had Taylor Moore on his win. Like the guy has balls. Like when he got in contention that Sunday at Valspar, I mean, he was very lucky because Shank got behind that tree in the 18th hole. But he just seems to have that kind of moxie that, he's a winner. The only thing I don't like about him right now is his approach is god awful.
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't get there. But he's been lights out.
Yeah, I think 70-1 is a good number with his quote unquote win equity. So I'm in. Masters champ Posty 80-1. I feel like it's a solid number.
I agree too. I mean, but we haven't. When's the last time we seen? I guess he played the PGA Championship. I wouldn't even have known. I mean,
dude,
I swear.
Obviously, he won the Masters.
Yeah, you had him first round leader at the Heritage?
Yeah, had that. This is solid. That was I mean, I didn't bet him. I don't think I'm gonna bet him, but I don't know, 80-1. He's been doing things.
He definitely fits the course profile. I mean, I like him more on Bermuda. But yeah, he's lost on approach the last 3, so I don't know.
Dude. Bo Haas 100 in Texas? That's on the card. I just found out he was 100-1. Fuck you, dude. Bo Hostler in Texas at 100-1. That will pay off eventually. I don't know when, but I don't know if he's probably been shit, but come on.
A Bo Hostler, Scotty Scheffler dual forecast. That would pay out nice.
But 365 doesn't have everyone up for the dual forecast, so I might need to DM some people.
DK doesn't either. It's always like select few.
They just know. We'll just take advantage. Were there any longer shots that you were eyeing that you couldn't make on the card?
I looked at Glover, but I think Glover's a Bermuda guy too. I mean, I can't get there on Ben, and I don't know. I feel like he had his 15 minutes.
I agree.
I don't know if he's going to win again. I did look at Hubbard. Hubs, you
unserious.
Had him hole in one.
I think I'm down this week if we get. I know Scotty made a hole in one here last year, so there is potential there. Par 70. I'm in on Hub's hole in one this week. I mean, it's coming.
I don't even know if they offer that market for this.
Yeah,
week. I would be in.
Yeah, Hubbard first round leader. I could be convinced. No, actually, I'm out. I'm out on Hubbard first round leader. He played too well last week. He's unserious. Like he is a fucking he's not a serious golfer. Like he is absolutely not, and I don't think he'll do it. Lee Hodges.
I did consider him too. Yeah.
I mean, why the hell not? He's gonna be at Bethpage.
3M comp.
3M comp. Yeah. Fucking Lee Hodges 100-1 after what he did last week. That's a solid pick, to be honest.
I mean, he gained over 8 on approach. I mean, he does fit here. Around the green, he's not so good, but these statistically are some of the easier around the green holes. Yeah. That's what the data says. So
SH Kim nukes. SH Kim is good at golf. Like SH Kim, sleeper for the President's Cup team. I think SH Kim reels off a win soon. Hubbard 180 on DK to make a hole in one. We're getting word.
180?
180 to 1.
Oh wow, there you go. Yeah.
I'm betting that. I mean,
Wow.
that's the way to deploy
I'm in.
this week. Just elite par 3 player.
Yeah.
I really do like SH Kim. I think SH Kim can do it. Isn't it kind of crazy Grillo's 150? Or is he really that bad?
I don't hate it. I mean, in this field, I mean, can he beat Scotty 101?
Yes.
Does he know who Scotty is?
He did him last year. He did last year.
When?
Scotty was third and Grillo won. So he basically beat him.
Yeah. Oh, you said Grillo?
Yeah, Grillo.
Oh, I thought you were still on SH Kim.
No. But Scotty, SH Kim will feed families. That's for sure. But yeah, why is Grillo 150?
He's playing like trash. I mean,
But he's a winner, man.
He's a streaky player, man. When he's on a run, you bet him, and when he gets off it, you get off it. I mean,
why weren't you on him last year?
I don't know.
You don't have a set reason?
I don't really remember why, because he was like 110 to 1 or something.
It was like 80.
Really?
Yeah, he had good course history.
He did.
And he was playing well and then missed the cut. Zach Johnson, 300. Ben Coles, 350.
Ben Coles is a value play.
Ben Coles is doing stuff. He was fucking last week. He's got Texas ties. You play Ben Coles in Texas.
That's right. Red State.
I think that does it for me.
Yeah.
Chandler Phillips, 400.
Streaky iron player.
Texas. Valspar.
That's right. Yeah, it's in Texas. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty well. What about the brothers, the Cooties? Are they here? Yeah,
I think they are.
Parker's here.
I know Kyle's on one of them. They could be solid. Also, I just got word Vic Lap Heavy SH Kim qualified for the U.S. Open.
There we go.
He's good at golf.
Yeah.
I'll fucking Chandler Phillips shot +4 in the U.S. Open.
He's got a nice swing. I mean, he can play.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone's ever qualified for the U.S. Open and then won, but I think SH Kim can do that this week. Definitely first round leader without a doubt. Without a freaking doubt. Wes Bryan, 400. Every single lineup. You play Wes Bryan. Do you like his YouTube videos?
I've watched only a few of them, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I enjoy them. I watch a lot of YouTube golf.
The Brian Bros.
I like Bob Does Sports.
Yeah, Bob Does Sports is good.
Yeah. I George is a very talented golfer in my opinion. He's a solid player. Wes, I don't think he's actually good at golf.
Was George the one that qualified for Myrtle?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. I think he missed the cut.
Yeah.
That was a value play for me to make the cut, and that did not work out well. But at the end of the day, Hubbard, hole in one, 180 to 1. That's just, that's a nuke, truly. Yeah. SH, first round leader, nuke. And then Mav, outright. Parlay, all of them together. That's the tip special this week. I think it's a winner.
I agree. I'm anxious to see your full card for the first round leader.
Yeah, it's we got to still run some models. The first round leader models have been a little bit cold this year, but again, Kyle just knows everything that happened in the qualifier. Love it. Nico Avicacciaria shot -7, number 1 in qualifying. Really impressive. Well, anyway, GCB, pleasure having you on. I'm glad you could finally make it. Hopefully we hit a winner this week or first round leader, but I always appreciate your content. Ball, you bet Punta Cana first round leader. You get it, man. You understand golf betting. So I'm glad that you can make your tip debut.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me on. Thanks for working around my kids.
Yeah.
My schedule and everything. So I appreciate it.
Yeah. RBC Canadian Open next week. New course. Excited for that one. Field will probably be shit, but whatever. And then any Memorial early leans.
Well, I completely forgot that the Canadian Open was next week, to be honest with you. I'm usually pretty good with the schedule, but Memorial, God. Go back to Vic?
No, I'm out on defending champs.
Yeah.
No other Denny Mac, unfinished business.
I don't know. I didn't go so well this last time on long, difficult courses. God, I can't go back to Cantlay. He's just playing like shit.
Yeah, he is. Like, because last year, like Xander and Cantlay were like the same. Like Xander has passed him by a mile.
Yeah, not even close. I don't know. Scotty will probably be going off at 4-1, and
Scotty, that was like the greatest ball striking performance of all time.
Didn't he gain over 20 strokes ball striking?
I think it was like something insane. He lost.
But he lost like 8 potting.
Yeah. So Scotty will probably win.
And
this week too. So parlay that for like plus 20 to 1 odds.
There you go. Maybe parlay it with somebody with Peters on the DP.
Yeah. Just get some things going. But we'll see everyone next week for the Canadian Open, and we got a pretty good stretch of golf coming up. And hope everyone has a good night.
Thank you.